And we're live. This is a Cypher system one-shot, and let's get started. It is January the 5th, 1942, in the town of Falmouth on the southern coast of England. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and a fisherman is walking along the beach, and he spies something in the water. Something bobbing out there. He wades out just a little ways to see what he can see. Realizes that there's something fishy about it. And wading out a bit further, he pulls in a body. It's the body of a young man, about 15 or so. No obvious signs of foul play. He pulls him in, and he feels something odd. Though the water is very, very cold, this body is frozen solid. And as he flips the body over onto the beach, he sees that the eyes are open, and the face is frozen in a picture of pure horror. And we move forward 6 months. It is June the 19th. Again, very early in the morning. And all of you have been called to the beach. There's a constable there who is standing beside another member of the public. This time a pub owner in his 50s. And they have something that's been covered in a blanket, and they look over at you. Now, we hadn't decided previously who has what rank in the police, so now would be a good time to establish
that. Ex-police for mine.
Ex-police?
Correct.
Okay. So, are you here as just an interested member of the public?
Interested party, yeah.
Okay. Perhaps you've been called in because the current detective inspector is away and you were maybe a retired inspector?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. And then, Mel, you are a WPC?
Yeah, so I was previously a receptionist at the police station, but since war has taken on, the current chief of police, or whatever the terminology for an English chief of police is.
Chief Constable.
Chief Constable noticed that I was a little more intelligent, and maybe I had some resources that they could use in their time of need, and Lord's staff numbers.
Mm-hmm. This is a time when men are scarce and women are getting jobs that they never got before.
Exactly.
And so you are an example of that. Mm-hmm. All right, and okay.
Well, he's a hothead detective who's been in trouble a few times and had to sit in front of the board for review for his ideas of justice.
Should we say sergeant who wants to be a detective, but has been passed over?
That works perfectly.
Okay. And Ryan, what are you doing on the beach?
On a beach morning, you know, I'm an honorable warrior. I'm probably out doing my my morning jog, my morning routine, work myself up.
There were many bombs dropped last night. Not many in Falmouth itself, but 2 or 3. So you were probably up during the night working on that. So you could have been, trying to tire yourself out enough to actually get some sleep.
Yeah, that's probably
okay.
Jog off the stress.
Excellent. So Constable Summers is the policeman on the beach, and he turns towards you and he says, "Detective," and he looks at you, Evan. And he says, and then he looks around and he says, "Sergeant," and he looks at you, Mel. What is your character's name again? Olivia?
Olivia Benson.
Yes, and then he says, "Olivia," and you get the impression that he's not too fond of this, your new job.
I take it in stride and I just nod with respect at him, knowing that he's higher above me.
Mm-hmm. He looks at you, Evan, and says, "Sir, there seems to be a body here."
It's the war. There seems to be a body everywhere.
Yes, but this one doesn't look like he died fighting. And he looks over at Olivia and says, "You might want to turn away. This is a bit gruesome."
I can take it.
Says,
Most people nowadays have seen bomb victims.
yeah, says, "Well, on your head be it." And he throws off the blanket, and underneath the blanket is a man in his mid-20s, and his hands are in a claw. His hands are like claws just above his chest, as though he's pulled them in either to warn something off or to warm himself. And his mouth is open and his eyes are staring wide. And as you look at him, I mean, this is June. England is never particularly warm, but there is mist, there's steam coming off his body. And leaning forward, you realize that this man is frozen.
My character, Jack, leans back and takes a whiff of good swig of whiskey before checking to see if there's any warmer parts of the body or if it's an even freeze.
Give me an investigation, or give me a intelligence roll. This will be a level 1.
Absolutely. 11.
Oh yeah, definitely. You feel around the body. Nowhere he seems frozen right through. I mean, his clothes are stuck to him and they've thawed a bit, but you can't really bend, and you can't bend any limbs yet. You can feel a bit of movement in the skin, but that's about it.
And can I tell how long he's been dead?
You can't tell how long he's been dead, but you do know that
Like by the level of frost damage to the tissue?
It's unlikely that you'd have that sort of first-hand experience, but you do know that after the coroner has seen him, you'll get that information.
Do I recognize his face? Do I recognize the body?
That's the thing. He's not a local.
Okay.
If you recognized him last, he wouldn't be on the case.
I want to just go through his pockets and see if there's any identification or anything like that. But I want to put my gloves on first.
Okay. These would be leather gloves, presumably?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Okay. All right. As far as you go through his pockets, you look through and try and find out anything that's going on, but there's not much on him. It looks as though someone he didn't carry much in his pockets. You do find a remnant of a piece of paper,
Okay.
but it's very water damaged and scrunched up. Possibly, if you were to dry it out, you could read what's on it.
Okay, but I can see that there's some kind of ink or something on it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I take the piece of paper, put it in an evidence bag.
You'd probably shove it in your pocket, more likely.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no CSI going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of equipment they have.
Yeah, not much.
Okay.
All right. And so the Constable Summers looks at you and says, well, I've just been interviewing Mr. Miller here. And he looks over at the civilian. He found the body about an hour ago.
Oh.
Where did you find it?
He was out in the water,
Out in the water.
just floating there.
Can we talk to him?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's looking out to sea. He'd walked away a little bit from the body.
Okay.
And how completely frozen is the body?
The body feels as though like he'd just been chipped out of ice, basically.
I'd like to approach the man who found the body.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. That's all right?
Oh, definitely.
I'm paying very close attention to that man's face and movements while she's talking to him.
Okay.
Around what time did you find the body?
He says, "Oh, we're about an hour ago. I'd just been walking out here with my dog, and I just saw something floating out there, and I dragged it in, and there he was."
It's kind of a dangerous time to go. Wait, sorry, is it nighttime?
It's early morning.
Okay. Aren't you nervous walking the beach with your dog when all these bombs are being dropped?
He looks at you and he says, "Oh no, I was in the last war, and the bombs don't worry me too much. Besides, you can't keep calm and carry on, as they say."
You can't live forever, eh?
Very true, very true.
Okay. And then I just say, "Do you know this person? Had you seen them before?"
Never seen him before in my life.
Okay. Can I tell if he's telling me the truth?
Roll, yeah.
That's also what I'm watching for.
Yeah, make an intelligence roll for me. This is level 1 again.
If it's reduced one step,
Then
does
it's
that
free.
mean I automatically succeed?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
I succeed.
Okay.
Yeah, you get the impression that he's telling the truth.
Okay. I just want to get your name before I leave and your address so we can come and talk to you if we need any more information.
And he gives you that. It's he lives in a little cottage above town.
Okay. And what's his name?
His name is Jeffrey Milner.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Milner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I leave.
Okay. And by this time, more constables have arrived, and they're putting the body on a stretcher, and he's being taken to the local doctor. You say the coroner, but he's more of just the local GP.
Okay.
I'll go up to the coroner and ask him for how cold he was. How long do you think he was out in the water?
Yeah, as you're looking on, the doctor arrives. He looks like he's been his hair's all frizzly. He looks like he's been rousted out of bed. He's in his mid-60s, so he's walking a bit slowly, but he walks over to the body and bends down with a bit of a groan. It's a bit early for him. He looks up and he says, "Couldn't you just wait? Wait a couple of hours?"
I take a swig of my whiskey without the E.
Mm-hmm.
I offer it to him.
He
and
says,
say, I'll wait for you to finish.
He says, "Oh, don't mind if I do." And he starts his examination of the body, and as he puts his hands on the victim's throat, he jumps back and he goes, "He's stone cold." Then he starts examining more closely. Before he was just, performing a function. Now he's interested. And he starts to check out what's going on with the body. And then as he looks up to you and he says, "This man is frozen right through. And that is impossible."
What do you mean impossible?
It's June. It's mid-June. There's nowhere that he could be frozen like this. And the
I'm
water
sure-
out there.
I'm
The
sure
water
plenty of
is.
restaurants have walk-in freezers.
What was that?
I'm sure plenty of places have walk-in freezers.
That's the thing. Round about this time in England, only about 2% of houses had freezers.
I'm thinking more industries.
What was that?
I'm thinking more so industries,
Yeah, that is definitely something worth looking into.
restaurants, warehouses.
Mhm.
Okay, so how long do you think he's been above zero?
How long has he been above in the water?
Correct.
He checks the temperature of the skin. He tries to get at the liver to try and get a temperature reading there, but his thermometer breaks on the skin. He says, "Oh, damn it!" And he looks at you. And he says, "This body has been, if presuming he's frozen right through, which I think he is, this body couldn't have been in the water more than an hour."
Okay. I just say to the coroner, maybe you'd be able to get some more information back at your.
Yes, bundle him up and get him to the surgery.
Is it possible that we could come and visit you in a couple of hours and to get some more information from you?
Yes, actually, if one of you would like to accompany me, then you can take some notes of my findings.
Okay.
Okay.
And while I'm walking with him, can I do a local knowledge check, see if there's any place that would have a freezer big enough for a person within an hour of the place he was found?
Yes, you can give me, because it is a bit of an obscure thing to have. This will be level 5.
All right.
While he's rolling that, are there any known crime organizations that our characters would suspect?
Well, there are the local crooks, mostly drunks, but there are a few people who have managed to dodge being enlisted, and for one reason or another. The way you would get out of going to war would be you'd have a medical reason, or your family's business would be destroyed by you leaving. You say you were the only man in the family to run the local grocery shop, or if you were a conscientious objector. There were other ways, but those are 3 of the main ones. So some people would list that they would have any one number of those in order to stay home for criminal purposes. There was a lot of black market dealing going on during the war, and you've got a couple of local black market guys nearby.
So I rolled an 18.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know of one freezer in town at the local butcher shop.
Okay, and would I know if there's any fishermen or sailors, maybe older guys that aren't fit to be in the war, but that are still around town?
There are, yes. There's about 20 or 30 of them, all in there, in various ages and various reasons why they can't go.
Do I know of any of these guys that are like masters of the sea, or like would know more about currents and that sort of stuff than other people?
Yes. Give me a name.
Alan.
Alan.
Oh dear God.
There is.
She says Alan.
There is a fellow at the local. There's a man you met at the local pub of an evening, and he's mid-30s. He had an injury when he was on his boat once. The rope caught around his foot and took off most of the toes on his right foot. And yeah, he was deemed unfit for service, but he still hobbles around, and he owns his own. He actually owns his own boat. He's very industrious.
Okay.
So while they're fishing for information, I'll do some fishing of my own. I'll ask the coroner how long the body would have had to be at about -10 Celsius
Okay.
to be that frozen through.
Okay. I'm going to say that you're thinking to ask that, and then the coroner, who you've never particularly got along with, he basically throws up a hand and says, "I am not going to talk to anyone until I've had my breakfast and I've finished looking at this body. If you want me, I'm at the surgery. And if you, 2 XP coming your way."
My way?
Yep.
I'll give one to Oki.
Okay.
Or okay.
Thank you, sir.
No worries.
All right. And Ryan, you've witnessed all this, sort of leaning up against the the harbor wall and watched all this happening. What is your character doing? What is he thinking?
I'm just curious because I'm no detective, but like you said, the only way to freeze a body at this time would be a freezer. I like the idea about the fish market because sometimes the fish marketers use, to keep their produce fresh, they use mass freezers. The butcher might be a good idea. But I mean, I'm at this to the professionals.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My character sees no reason to get involved yet.
Okay.
Or to offer my services. It's up to this point intriguing, but
it's about this. Okay. It's about this time that you hear in the distance the low drone of engines, and Go ahead.
A perception or intelligence check to see what kind of engines, like if they're German, like bomber planes, or if they're the British RAF.
I'd say, based on your character's profession, that you would not need to roll for this. You hear the very distinct sound of the engine noise of a German bomber. Several coming your way.
Oh, shite.
How far away do I think it is?
It's just as you're thinking that you hear in the background the whir of the air raid alarm. That means you've got about 10 minutes or so.
Okay, I want to do a quick perception check of where the body was now that they've moved it. Just
definitely of where he was laying, or of just the harbor in general.
Of where he was laying specifically, just to see if there's any personal items or anything that had fallen out of the body when he was pulled out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you find there is as they lift him up, from underneath him there is a silver watch, a pocket watch.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna put that in my pocket and then just get out of there and look at it when I
Okay.
So is there any other place to put a pocket watch?
Ha ha ha.
So my character Jack's going to run to the nearest bar. He knows that every single bar has a cellar, and every single cellar is full of whiskey.
There is a local pub. You can, in fact, it is the nearest place that you could all get to.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to run there and
Okay.
ask the innkeeper, or not the innkeeper, but the barkeep.
A pair of constables are taking the body along with the doctor, and they're hightailing it up the road. The doctor's surgery is not too far away, but they want to get there as fast as possible. The rest of you make your way towards the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, hightailing it.
Okay. Give me the name of the pub.
Lion's Head.
The Lion's Head? Okay. You make your way towards the Lion's Head, and you see at the door the proprietor of the Lion's Head sleepily, just rubbing his eyes, and he looks bewildered as you all three, as the four of you, burst in on his into his pub. He says, "What's going on?"
My character screams bomb alert before grabbing an unopened bottle of beer and dashing to the back.
He looks
We
like,
got a minute. Pour me a drink, and then head to the cellar.
he looks like he was going to protest at the blatant theft, but then he does not listen to you because he's right there with you, grabbing a bottle himself.
Great.
I just follow behind to the cellar.
Okay. It's about 45 minutes of you hear bombs going off. You feel one or two of them nearby, possibly in the town itself, but it looks like you've mostly been spared. And about that time, the air raid siren goes off.
During that time, I want to spend the time trying to dry the piece of paper I found out of his pocket.
Definitely. There is Romy and at any time, if any of you want to gain a clue, which
One experience.
definitely, it's either 1 experience or 3 intelligence, not modified by edge.
Okay.
So I'm going to usher all of the guys closer, minus the barkeep, and minus Mel's character because she's busy drawing and is a female. And I'm going to tell them about the butcher shop.
I'm eavesdropping.
Okay. All right. First, Mel, the paper is it's coming apart in your hands. This is going to be a very, very difficult task to open it up. This is going to be a level 8 roll.
Shit. Okay, so is it going to be intelligence or speed or?
I'm going to say this is speed. This is being dexterous more than anything else.
Can I offer an asset?
Definitely.
And I'll remind Mel that as a level 1, you can only put in 1 level of effort.
No, I know.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely there. I will let you know that there are some assets that might help lying around.
Can you use subtle ciphers, or do you have to use subtle ciphers on yourself?
No.
So could I use let her give her the benefit of the analeptic?
Definitely.
Okay. Not sure how it works since it's a subtle one, but
What does it do?
Restores a number of points equal to the cipher's level to the user's
oh,
speed.
never mind. I used the wrong the stim. That's what I meant.
Okay, let's see. Stim. Yeah, that would
Stim
work.
reduces your next action by 3 steps.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would definitely help. How?
Okay,
how are you doing that?
I guess I would help her by making sure she had enough space.
Perhaps.
Tell her, don't fuck this up.
Perhaps handing her a beer bottle opener.
Possibly fanning at the paper in order to.
There you go.
Dry
Yeah.
it a little bit quicker. Okay.
Oh, sorry, she's drawing something.
So I'm also going to apply a level of edge to that, or effort to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that brings it down
your level
5 to 4. So I have to roll 12 or higher.
All right.
Okay.
One asset, 1 level of effort, 1 stim equating 3 brings it down by 5.
Yeah, so you're
So,
3.
yeah.
9 or
So
higher.
you have to beat a 9.
9 or higher. Okay, that's better. Let's see. I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
nice.
Can I
Can you
grant her
spend an
my
XP to
experience?
re-roll that?
No, the only XP that was given out wasn't given to me. So I don't have any.
Oh.
Can I
No.
grant her my experience?
I'm gonna say in this particular one shot, no.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then please say she gets ink all over her face.
No. As you're pulling the paper apart, there you're grabbing at it. You're trying to slowly open it up, and you feel a drop. You feel wetness underneath your skin, underneath your finger, and you pull up your finger, and your thumb is red.
Oh, I tried my
And
paper cut.
as you pull on the paper a little bit more, red liquid starts to pour from the paper,
Pouring
and it
from the paper?
pour from the paper, and starts to. I presume you're say on top of a keg, like you're working on top of a keg,
Yeah.
and this pool starts to form, this small droplets, and you smell a kind of irony smell,
It's blood.
and it just keeps pouring, and just keeps pouring, and you. How do you react to this?
I think I would probably jump up and back up and say, "What is going on?"
Okay,
Is
right
the,
as
Really uncomfortable and scared.
you do
blood
that,
coming from the paper or from her finger?
from the paper.
Alright. I'm going to rip parts of Mel's cuff or Mel's arm, like sleeve off, and then try and heal the paper if I can.
Oh, the paper is destroyed in the process, basically.
Damn it.
It's now just a pile of blood.
Yes.
What on earth did we just see?
We
Yes.
saw that we are too sober for this.
Yes, definitely. The barman just without even being asked, he just hands drinks to everyone.
Yes, I chug whatever
So-
he gave me.
So can you actually explain to me what happened? Like her part and her thumb came apart?
No, imagine you've got a wet piece of paper in your hand, and you're trying to pull pieces of it open, and as the ink started to run off the paper because it's still wet, the ink was blood, and the blood just kept flowing and kept flowing off the page.
Oh,
And-
well, that is just yeah. I'm gonna need a double shot after that.
Yep. And you're basically, the blood is on top of a keg, and it's now overflowing off the top of the keg. There's basically enough blood there to fill a human body.
Oh my god. Okay.
What the hell?
I chug my beer and fill my bottle up with the blood.
Okay. And
I walk over and kind of just spread some on my fingers and smell it, and I do a little taste test.
Oh,
definitely blood. And everyone give me an intelligence test, also level 8.
Can some of
an
us
intelligence
forfeit-
test?
Yes, if you want to determine anything about the blood.
Can some of us forfeit?
Yeah, definitely.
Assets
Or anyone who is familiar with death, let me know.
No, I rolled a 4. I'm just kind of like.
This isn't anything to like overcome a fear or anything, is it?
This is not, no.
Okay.
Let's see. I have perception, and I'm also trained in healing, so I'm guessing I know a bit about blood.
Yes. I'll say
So
for
that
you,
would be
this is
two assets?
just this started as a 5, reduced by 2, basically.
I rolled a
Started-
12.
Sorry, started
just
at
gonna-
5, reduced by 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 3.
So, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So
3 for me then?
Yes, 3 for you, Evan.
I'm just gonna use the level of effort and hope I don't roll the opposite of a 1.
Okay.
I didn't. I rolled a 12, so.
By the way, anyone let me know if you now roll a 2 or higher. Or 2 or less.
I rolled a 13.
Okay.
So that should be successful for me.
Yes, definitely. You you notice ever so slightly that in the well, first you notice that this is fresh arterial blood, which is a bit odd. Well, I mean, apart from anything else, but you also notice that in the center of the keg where the piece of paper was, that the blood is pulsing. It's going da-dum, 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 da-dum.
So almost as if there's a vein there that was cut.
Yes.
Okay, I'll relate that to, I'll kind of shoo the barkeep away, telling him to get me another drink before telling everyone else what I saw.
Okay. While while he goes and does that, you hear a knock, a banging on the cellar door, and it's Constable Summers. You all right down there?
Yeah, of course.
Should we let him in?
Yeah, I guess so. He's our boss.
Oh no, this is Constable Summers. He just outranks you, Mel.
Oh, but I'm trying to play by the rules because I want this to be my job forever after the war's over. So I'm gonna let him.
Okay. He makes his way down here, and he looks around and he says, "Well, I mean, he looks at you and goes, wow, you all look awful." He says, the bombs only landed just outside of town. I mean, there's no need to look that worried."
Do I know if there's a Catholic priest in town?
There is.
I'm gonna just let the group know that some of us should stay with this situation to make sure it doesn't get out of hand, and that I'm gonna go to the church and get the priest. And if anybody would like to come with me, feel free.
No, I'll stay with the beer.
Constable Summers looks at you and says, I see. WPC Benson, you won a couple of bombs drop and you need a priest? I don't, he's saying this kind of under his breath, you know. I don't fancy your chances long term.
What's his name
I
again?
think you need to watch how you talk to her.
Constable Bill Summers.
I'm just going to walk right up to Bill Summers and I'm going to say, I've just seen something that I have never seen before. I'm not afraid of the bombs. If you want to go take a look at that pile of blood that just came out of nowhere and figure that out on your own without the help of God's hands, then you go ahead and figure that out and I would be amazed.
Will you
And I
point?
throw him out.
I'm pointing towards the blood.
Yeah,
He looks at you and
I'll,
says, "What blood?"
he can't see it.
I'll pull Mel aside.
He looks at all of you and goes, "What are you talking about?"
I'll pull Mel aside and say, that was too many words left. Right there, you should have just walked up and bopped him on the nose. Given him a shiner.
Maybe next time.
He looks at you and he starts.
She's
looking
talking
around.
about the blood that would be on the barrel if you continue talking to her in that manner.
Yeah, as you all, he goes, "Oh yeah, fine, fair enough." And he looks at you, Evan, with anything but respect, and says, "Sir, you know, basically like, sir, I'm going to go and leave you all to your fantasies." And looking back, any of you that look back towards the barrel, there's nothing there.
So we can't see it now either.
No, there's nothing there.
But everyone could see it to begin with.
Yes.
We not only saw it, but I identified it.
And the one thing you do have is the sample that you made. That is still there.
Oh yes, good. All right. I'm feeling really confused right now, but I still feel like I would probably be a deeply religious woman given the times, and the need for hope during a war of this magnitude. I'm still gonna go to the church.
I will accompany you if you don't mind, miss.
Yeah, of course.
Let's say it's a Sunday morning and mass is actually about to start.
Can I borrow the blood from your mouth?
I'm curious if that blood matches that of our victim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want some of the blood also? Is that what Evan just said?
Yes.
I have an entire full bottle of it, so we can split it in half.
Okay, I'll finish off the bottle of beer that I'm drinking and ask her to fill it up.
Okay. All right.
I'm accompanying for my own reasons, considering what I've just seen, a living book pumping blood out, and then it just all disappears. I'm in need of a little divine protection.
Okay. Mel, as you're opening the bottle, the blood was pooling at the bottom of the bottle quite normally, but as you pull the cap off or pull the stopper out, the blood starts to climb out of the bottle. It's basically flowing the wrong way, and it starts to, as it hits the lip of the lid, it starts to turn into a red mist and disappear.
I put the stopper back on it really quickly.
Okay, make me a speed roll. This will be a level 6, because it's really moving fast.
Okay, I'm gonna apply a level of effort. This is a speed task?
Yes.
Oh my fucking god, I can't roll for shit. That's 4.
4. Okay, as you're let's see, as you're you manage to get the stopper in, but there's only just a tiny bit left at the bottom, and 2 XP your way.
Okay, I'll give the other one to Evan's already. I'll give one to Ryan.
Okay. All right, and Ryan, you who's going to church?
Oh, I'm definitely going to go church. I'm feeling like I need to go bang my head on some baseboards.
Okay.
I'll go to the fish market. Not to the fish market, sorry, to the butcher's.
Okay. All right.
Along the way, I'm like, maybe the Germans dropped some like hallucinogenic gas, or I'm searching for like every reason that I could think of to justify what I've just seen.
Okay, are you going to church as well?
More likely you just can't handle your liquor. Nor can we all.
I pinch Ryan's character on the arm and I say, "This is."
Oh, I was muted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, I would like to escort her and then leave her and go to the butcher.
Okay. You pinched Ryan, Mel?
Yeah, I'm pinching Ryan and I'm looking at him in the eyes and I'm saying, "This is real."
1 might damage. No, just joking. Okay.
I have male armor. I don't take the first point of damage inflicted by women.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're splitting the party. All right. Evan, you make your way towards the butcher shop. People have started walking out into the streets. The sun has come out, and life is resuming as much as possible. There is the sound of children playing, but these are Protestant services a little bit later in the day. So these are probably the Protestant members of the community, and the Catholic members of the community are making their way towards the church. So you're somewhat fighting human traffic, but as you make your way up into the town, you see the butcher's shop, and as you walk up to it, you see someone leaving the shop that you recognize. He's a local purveyor of things that fell off the back of a lorry. If it may be stolen, it may not be. If you want unlicensed liquor, then he's your man. If you want anything vaguely illegal or hard to get by, hard to come by. What is his name?
There is a fence.
What was that?
There is a fence, basically.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Let's call him John Henderson.
John Henderson. And John Henderson, who you know to before the war have been a member of the local cricket team. But suddenly, when the papers, when the call up was, when everyone was being called up to war, he developed an old leg injury, which he seems to have forgotten about now. You see him walking out of the shop, and he looks worried. He looks concerned, and he bumps into you, and he looks up and he goes, detective. Oh well, not detective anymore, are you?
No, I'm on your side.
That'll be the day. He says, what are you after today?
I've just come to buy some meat.
He says, oh, well, good luck to you. He's not got much in there. I hope your ration book is better than mine. And he walks, he looks, as he was talking to you, he seemed very distracted, as though he had something on his mind.
I'll grab his shoulder, look into his eyes, and say, "You all right, mate?"
He kind of jerks back and he says, "Yeah, yes, I'm perfectly fine. Thank you.
Can I do like sense motive or perception?
Yes, definitely. Level 4.
Wonderful. 13.
Yeah, you. He is shifty. He's got something on his mind, and though he doesn't consider you to be official anymore, he does not want to tell. He does not want you to catch on to something.
Okay, I'll pull out my flask and notice it's virtually empty at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And look at him and hold out the flask and ask, "How about one more for old time's sake?"
He says, sure, definitely. And he takes a swig.
Then I ask, "So where's your? Can you fill me up? Because that was the last of it."
He goes, "Oh well, I'm a bit hard up at the moment. I don't my supply got delayed, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I've got a bottle. The usual price." He looks at you. The usual bottle.
The usual.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. And he says, "Well, I really must be going. I'm off. I'm off." And he shuffles his way down the road.
And can I attempt to follow him?
Definitely.
Wonderful.
You want to see where he's going?
Exactly.
Okay. He heads down the down the road a bit, and he looks. He stops on an alleyway at the corner of an alleyway, and he starts looking in all directions. Looks behind him, looks in front of him, and then he ducks down the alley real quick.
By the time I catch up to the entry of the alley, Can I see him?
Yes, you can see him. He's at the other end of the alley, and he's kind of leaned up against the wall and looking both ways, and then he slowly walks out into the street beyond.
And is OK still with me?
What was that?
Is OK still with me?
No, you're on your own. Everyone else is at church.
All right. In which case, I'll keep following him and let you get back to the church.
Okay, sounds good. All right. The rest of you have arrived at service, and Father Brown is presiding. He's giving a he's talking to you all about about the war and everything that's going on, and about how we have to we cannot let evil triumph. And he gives a very, very quick service, but then he starts walking around the congregation and talking to everyone and trying to, you can tell he's trying to raise everyone's spirits.
I'm gonna let him do his thing and just wait until he's finished.
Okay. Everyone, how close are you all to the father?
Well, once we actually got to the church and up the steps, I was going to let them go. I was just accompanying them in case anything happened, because this morning's been really weird.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
As you're, so Ryan and Mel, you're both in the church?
Yeah, so when we got to church, would the service have already started, or would there been like quite a few people in there?
There's a good 30 people in there. The service was just starting as you arrived.
Okay, so I probably sat at the back and just to not interrupt anything.
But presumably you two both want to talk to the priest?
I do, yeah, but I don't want to interrupt him adding levity to the community, so I'm just going to give him a second.
So you've basically joined the queue, to speak to him, and there's about 2 or 3 people ahead of you. But he's talking to an old woman, Mrs. Haggerty. She's a local. She lives on the waterfront, and she says to him, "I tell you, Father, I was up last night, and it was about I don't know, about midnight or so, and there was a light under the water. I'll tell you, it's one of them U-boats," she says. "It's one of them U-boats. It's the Germans." You know that she's a bit, she's quite old, and not in her prime. But he looks at her and says, "Yeah, oh yes, Mrs. Haggerty, I'm sure it was. But thankfully they don't seem to have landed, so we're safe for now. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. But I shall certainly let the police know what you've said."
Do I know where Miss Haggerty lives?
Yes, you know that she lives about 2 minutes walk from where the body was found, in a house that faces the harbor.
Okay, perfect. All right,
sorry. And she says, "But it doesn't." He says to her, I'm sure they. But you saw the light leave." And she goes, "Well, yes." And he goes, "Well, then they left. They went away." He goes, "But no, Father. The light came back at about 5 this morning. I don't really sleep very well, and it came back, and it was even more. It was brighter, more intense. Lasted for only a few seconds this time." And you both know that, according to the coroner, that was right about the time when the start of when the body would have been in the water.
Right. How many people are around?
Oh, there's many people. They're just all wandering around, drinking tea and chatting.
Once Miss Haggerty is done talking with the priest and she's on her way out, I just want to stop her and say, "I heard the story that you were telling me, or telling the priest. I wonder if myself and the other officers could come pay you a visit later on today to get the full story from you.
She says, Olivia, darling, yeah, oh, definitely, by all means, come by. I'll put the kettle on.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Excellent. All right, and now the priest looks up at the pair of you and says, "Ah, hello, Olivia. Of course, I know, and you are." To Ryan.
Oh, I don't even have a name for my character. Screw it. I can just go with look at him and go, yeah, call me John Smith.
He looks at you and goes, Mr. Smith, are you possibly related to the Smiths of St. Maur's across the way? You're probably not.
I'll just no.
Or the Smiths of the farm about 5 miles away.
No, I'm from further away than that.
You're not Jacob Smith's son, the butcher.
No, sir.
I see. That Jacob Smith. He used to come here quite regularly, and now never to be seen. But what am I talking about? How are you two doing? Is there anything I can help you with? Confession is in about an hour.
This is the father speaking to me. Okay, I thought this was the policeman for some strange reason.
Oh no, this is the priest.
I'll just say, Father, I've seen something rather strange that has shaken me to my core. So it would probably be best saved for the confessional booth.
Excellent. He says, of course.
I'm a little encouragement for my soul and my sanity.
Of course. Please be back here at about 10 o'clock, and I can fit you in.
And I just say to the father,
that would be great.
I say to the father, I'm not sure that I need confessional, but I do need some religious advice about a case we're working on right now. I wonder if we could go back into your chambers and talk privately.
Oh, of course. And he says, Mr. Smith, it was lovely to meet you, and I will see you later on. And he walks away with you, Olivia. Okay.
And as we're walking away, I start explaining what we found on the beach and how this piece of paper that was in the body's pocket started to bleed in the end, and that I had a little sample of it, but I couldn't open it just now. But if he had ever heard of anything like this in his studies or had known anything, any kind of like.
As you're speaking, he looks more and more concerned, and he starts. He looks at you, and he sort of he holds your hand and pats it with his other hand, and he says, "Olivia, this war has broken the spirits of many very brave men, and I worry that that this line of work is not suited for you. I wish you would go back to secretarial work. You know, your mother speaks of this. She doesn't like the idea of you working for the police. I spoke to her last week. You get the impression that he
thinks I'm crazy.
That he thinks you're overworked.
Okay, I just say to the father, I say, Father, besides having the war around, this is the happiest I've been. This is the dream job that I've always wished I could have and didn't think it would be possible. And now that I'm here and accomplishing my dreams, I couldn't be happier. I promise to you, what I'm talking to you about sounds like the work of the devil or a demon or something from hell. And I thought your expertise about with the good book would help me to realize or figure out what had actually gone on.
He talks to you a bit more, and he really goes into it with you. He's definitely not dismissing your concerns, and while he finds what you're saying hard to believe, he believes that you believe it, and so he's not just going to cast you aside. He goes through and he lays out theologically what it possibly could be.
Okay.
But there's nothing really, nothing that specifically relates to what you saw.
Okay.
He's helpful, but not practically helpful in this case.
Okay. I just thank him and leave.
Definitely. I will say that speaking with him has given you 3 points back to distribute among your pools.
Cool.
A bit of a recovery. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
All right. And a cipher, a subtle cipher.
Okay.
Give me whenever you can. Give me a D100 roll, and then I'll let you know what that is. Some at the moment.
Just give me a second.
The only person not at their max is Ryan after
Okay.
using the stim.
Okay.
However, you can hold more than your max, but the DM gets to roll to see if there's a Cypher poisoning.
That was Oki's stim, by the way.
My
Okay.
apologies.
I rolled a 7.
7. A contingent activator.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay.
Like
Alrighty.
one of those on every character.
Okay. I'm going to say that as far as excess ciphers go, you can have one, but if you don't use one of them in the next big scene, then one vanishes.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And you can always sort of give one away, you know. However that roleplay wise works, we'll just, you know, play that out.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you rejoin Oki and Ryan?
Yeah, and on my walk, I want to pull the pocket watch out of my pocket and see if there's anything on it, like an inscription or.
Yes. The pocket watch has JM on the interior, on the lid. The initials JM have been scratched in there. As you look at the watch, you notice that it's a bit grubby, and examining it a bit closer, you see that there's blood on it.
Okay, and
Dried
what about-
blood.
Is the time accurate?
No, the watch has stopped.
Okay.
But the watch stopped at 7:30.
Okay. Perfect. All right. I guess then I'm gonna move on to the coroner.
Okay. Yes. Do the rest of you want to go to the coroner?
The coroner said several hours, and that was at what time?
That was about an hour and a bit ago.
I was headed to the butcher shop, if you remember.
Oh,
All right.
yes. Okay, then we'll shift back to you, Evan.
Oh.
And you see, right as you're about to, right as you see, what was his name again, Evan? Sorry.
John Henderson.
As you see John Henderson about to exit the alleyway, Oki, your character, walks up to Evan, and you greet him in a loud voice.
Hey, you had the same idea. Just wanted to make sure they were delivered to the church safely.
John Henderson looks back, but Evan, if you want to make a speed roll, you can pull Oki's character out of the way so he's not visible from the alleyway.
Oh, thank God, I rolled a 19.
Excellent. You managed to pull him away, and you as you pull him away, you make the sound of a local bird.
I do.
Which John Henderson just he looks up. The noise obviously was a bird, and he's not suspicious.
What was the meaning of all that? You
Shut
gone
up.
mad?
Shut up. See that man? And I point at Henderson.
Uh-huh. What about him?
Yeah, he knows something.
Well, have you talked to him yet? Let's go talk to him.
Yeah,
Mr.
we're
Henderson!
following. We're following.
Okay.
I try and slap my hand over his mouth.
Henderson, he looks back at you, and he breaks and runs.
I chase him.
All right, it's a
I
chase.
also chase.
Okay, it's a chase. He is dodging in and out of people, and he's running away from you. And as he looks back, are you saying anything to him? Like, we just want to talk or something like that?
Can I grab or something off of a nearby cart and throw it at him?
You can.
As he
Perhaps
starts
a,
running, I'm
jug
yelling
of
out
milk?
threats. I swear when I catch you, it ain't gonna be fun for you.
Perhaps
Okay.
a jug of milk
Okay.
or a bottle of milk.
All right. Make that throw. This is
Wonderful.
There's a level 5 for all the crowd around you.
And I rolled a 2.
Yeah. Nope. This is yeah. I will let's see. You fling the milk, and it kind of the lid opens up, and it sort of sprays in a kind of arc as it's spinning. And everyone around is basically covered in milk, and there's a huge just a huge mess everywhere. And beyond the crowd, you can see John Henderson, and he looks back at you, and your eyes lock for a moment, and there is pure horror in his eyes. And he looks to his right and can see that there is a lorry coming by with filled with crates, and he leaps in front of the lorry and gets run over.
What the?
And 2 XP. Evan.
Apparently, he's
I'll give
afraid
one
of
to milk.
milk.
To me?
He Yes.
Who did you give those to? Evan? To Mel? Okay.
Mel, Olivia,
Okay, perfect.
whatever she's going by nowadays.
Okay. And do you guys go up to the body?
Yeah.
I
He,
give it a quick pat down.
He's still just alive.
I give it a quick pat down,
Okay.
trying to
I charge him as guilty.
You read him as right.
Absolutely. I am.
dear
okay.
God. And I'm going to try and tie tourniquet around whatever tourniquet.
That's literally one of my abilities. Designate as innocent or guilty.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try and tie a tourniquet around his right arm, which is shattered and just pulsing blood. But then, as you're doing that, you notice that that there's an artery nicked in his right leg. He is going to die, and very.
I have
soon.
a first aid kit.
Okay. Make
And
me,
I'm trained in healing, so if I
Okay.
could borrow that safety kit.
This
As
is
I pull it out, yeah.
This is a very, very hard roll. I'm going to let you know this is going to be a 9. He is dying unless a miracle happens.
All right. Well, the first aid kit works as an asset, so there's one
Right.
thing.
So
Percent
now
of
so
eight.
And I will assist you.
To 7, training bumps it down to 6, and I'll toss in a level of.
Okay.
So
What did you get?
I'm guessing.
Sorry, you dropped out for a second. Sorry,
Is
Evan,
this
didn't-
Intelligence, yes?
Yes,
Or
intelligence.
intellect? Okay. And I am spending an XP to reroll.
What'd you get?
1.
Oh
X-
no!
Yeah, just
Okay.
over and twist it. Yeah, break it off. Yeah, great. That's awesome.
I think our perp
Yeah.
is now dead.
I will let you guys know that a little while back we entered horror mode. So it was a GM intrusion on a 1 through 3. Even with the reroll, it's a GM intrusion now on 1 through 4. So let me know if you roll anything in that.
In a 1 through 4?
Even with an
I'm gonna go.
The intrusion doesn't
17.
happen, but the horror mode goes up.
Okay, so I got 17.
Okay. All right. So you managed to tie off everything, and there is a there happens to be a God, what could it be? I was thinking of something to basically burn the wound close, but
Cauterize it?
yeah, to cauterize the wound. You happen to have alcohol and a lighter.
Of course I have alcohol.
All right. So somehow you manage to cauterize the wound, and he is just barely alive. And he looks.
Sir, I know I have a bad reputation, but it couldn't be that bad that you had to throw yourself in front of a truck.
His eyes open for a second. And he looks at both of you and he says, "The eyes, the nameless, the horror," and then he passes out.
Okay, I'm going to look at OK and just give him a small nod before grabbing him, grabbing Henderson's shoulders to try and haul him off.
Okay.
I will definitely assist you with that.
All right. Yeah.
To an inn. So we're pretty much just trying to get him to safety
Okay.
and get a doctor to see him.
Yeah. By this time, there are other constables on the scene, and they're helping you. It looks like pretty much everyone is headed towards the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, well, if other people are here to assist with this, as much as I really want to stick with the perp, I'm going to actually walk into the butcher shop.
Okay. You let your superior know that, and then
I'll follow as well.
Okay. Okay. So you've basically sent the body on.
Yeah, but I'll let the lead constable know to keep me informed.
Okay. As you enter the shop, you first thing you notice is that the door was open, but the closed sign was up. And
Can we check for signs of forced entry?
yeah. Well, you, Evan, you know that the last person, as far as you know, to leave the shop was John Henderson or Jacob Henderson. John Henderson, that was it. And he didn't. Now that you think back on it, it's a bit weird that he just walked out of the shop that early in the morning, and that Jacob Smith, the butcher, was not there to close the door behind him or even to say anything. So who is standing in the shop now?
I am. I walk in. No one's there.
Yes. Evan, are you there as well, or no?
I am. Yep.
Okay. And Ryan, where are you?
I would be standing. I don't know if I'd go in quite yet, because if the closed, I would be like hugging the wall on the outside, pistol with my hand on my pistol at a ready stance, just in case anything decided to either come.
Okay.
In.
All right. And Mel, you're at you're headed towards the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you guys are the ones that are in the shop. You notice that none of the actually, I'm going to ask for anyone to spend insight if they want to get a clue.
Sure, that's 3 points to your intellect pool.
Yes.
Okay. Or 1 XP.
Or 1 XP.
I will spend the XP.
Okay. Looking around, you know what a butcher shop in the morning should look like, having been in one many times during your life. This place is not open for business. Nothing's prepared. The meats for the day are not on display. Even in wartime, there should be something going on in here, and butcher shops do not close. They're busy, especially now. But it doesn't look like anyone opened shop this morning.
That's peculiar. And I kind of give Evan a look, and then I start heading towards the back where the freezers would be.
You hear a low hum in the background, which is the large...
I have my billy club out, by the way.
Yeah, large freezer unit in the back.
Okay.
You also see it's kind of it's a large rectangular freezer, laying on its basically on its back, and it folds open. And you also notice as you enter the back room that there's a table back there for chopping up meat, and it's got a lot of semi-frozen meat on it. It looks like it's thawing and going to go bad in a while.
Okay.
That means
there
they're
any-
going bad for a while.
Yeah. And that's about it back here. There's just the freezer and then a large pile of meat next to it.
Okay.
I actually want to look
and
in the
weapons.
freezer.
Well, I mean, okay. You open the freezer?
Yeah.
All right. You open the freezer, and right before you is the body of Jacob.
Of who?
Jacob Smith, the butcher.
I found our missing butcher.
His eyes have been gouged out, and he it looks as though he's bitten his nails, bitten his fingers.
Like
And you can see-
his fingers are gone?
They're not gone, they're just bloody, and you can see that he's tried to scratch the lid of the freezer,
Awful.
but
He did. He was not dead when he was put in here.
No. If you feel around on the body, you can feel that he's ever so slightly warm.
I'm going to ask Evan to help me pull him out.
Okay.
Simple.
All right.
Let's get him up on this table.
Okay. You sweep aside the meat that's on the table and put him on there.
That would make sense, yeah.
Excellent. All right. What are you looking for?
Anything really. Checking his pockets.
You find his ration book.
Okay.
Just has his name and information and what what rations he's allowed to have and everything. And then it looks as though you look for signs of a struggle, but you don't see any.
Other than his fingers looked like he was clawing at the lid.
His fingers look like he was clawing at the lid, but he doesn't. But the blood appears. There are no defensive wounds. There are no wounds on the body apart from the eyes.
Okay, the eyes, when they were gouged out, do they look like, are there claw marks on the rest of his face, or is it just the eyes?
There are claw marks around the eyes. It looks as though fingernails were what did it.
Any deep bruising, anything like that?
It looks as though he grabbed his own face and gouged his own eyes out with his thumbs.
What is this going on with this town today?
Something.
I'm guessing we can't wire the GP.
No, you would have to
Physically go
physically visit him. In all honesty, the best thing you could do would be to put him back in the freezer and go talk to the doctor.
All right. I'll move to put him back in the freezer, but first I'm going to check his pockets, see if he has the keys to the front door.
He doesn't have the keys to the front door on him. What he does have is a letter in his pocket.
Do not open that letter.
Is the letter wet?
No, it is not.
I open the letter.
It's cold. Okay. The letter is from a firm of solicitors, Grubbins, and Smythe. They are writing to inform him that if he does not pay the balance due on the mortgage of his other property, then that property will be reclaimed within the fortnight.
What is his other property?
It is a small farmhouse near Pendennis Castle, which is basically at the end of the bay.
How far?
Okay.
Walk?
It's a good ways.
Is there a ledger book?
Half an hour.
Where he'd keep all his bills of sale and.
Oh yes, that's that would be near the front.
Office desk?
Yeah, basically underneath his counter. He'd stand at his front counter at the end of the day and write everything out. You can see that a quick perusal of the information in there lets you know that he's been getting black market meat from somewhere. Basically, rabbits, other things that are not official have been sold in his shop.
Okay.
But apart
No
from,
hidden cubby holes anywhere in his behind the counter or.
I'm going to say that if you want to find, if you're looking for something hidden, then that would be a level
roll perception?
8 roll perception.
A level 8 roll?
Level 8, yes.
Okay, do you want to give me a ask on it? I have training.
What's that? I couldn't hear you, bud.
If you give me an asset down to a 6 with my training.
So you want me to assist you?
Correct.
I really think we should look here. If you want to help me out here, give me your eyes.
Exactly.
There you go.
Okay. All right, let me know.
Oh, let's not get a 4. I got a 20.
Woohoo!
I like this dice.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
I've got good assets.
As you're walking around, you feel you're walking around looking in cupboards and everything, and if you were standing where the butcher would be standing at the end of the day, writing down in his ledger, you feel underneath your right foot that the stone of the floor is shifting, kind of rocking back and forth. And if you pull that stone up, you find a small box. It is a black box, and it has a gold inlaid design. It looks like a ball in the center with rays going out from it, kind of like a sun. Only the rays look they're kind of twisted. It doesn't look like any depiction of the sun that you know. What would you like your major effect to be?
On capture?
Yeah.
What would my option be?
I'm going to say that your major effect is that you figure out the way to to open this box. It's basically like a bit like a Rubik's Cube.
Let's do that then.
Okay. With a little bit of work, you open this box, and this box is about it's rectangular and about 6-7 inches long, and you have to kind of twist it and interlock it and move it around a bit, and it's very cleverly designed, and it feels very smooth as it's working. And as you're holding it in your hand, you realize that this is some kind of stone or possibly metal, but it doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel like marble. It doesn't feel like steel. It feels a bit odd. And you could swear that as you're twisting the box around and opening it, that the pattern on the lid, that it starts to move, and that the rays around the circle start to spin in an interesting and very unsettling way. But you hear a click, and from one end of the box is a small silver tube emerges. It's hollow, like a bit like a straw, but it has a few holes along it.
Small silver tube, small with few holes along it, so kind of like a recorder.
A bit like that. A bit like a very strange-looking recorder or flute.
Okay, today just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Mm-hmm. And
it's probably German.
What do you do with it?
Play it.
Screw it, I'll play it.
Yes.
Dear God.
You're gonna put your lips to that?
As you...
I mean, I just drank a whole wine of whiskey. My lips are pretty sterile.
Okay.
Can I pour whiskey over it before?
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I pour whiskey and shine.
As you...
I take a step back.
As you blow on it, you feel a weightlessness on your body. As you slightly, your feet somewhat leave the floor, and in your head, Oki, and in yours, Ryan, and in yours, Mel, you hear a drum beat. It's not in any kind of pattern. There's no melody to it, and beyond the drum beat, you hear a kind of wah, and beyond that, you hear the screaming of 1,000 voices, of 1,000,000 voices, of 10 million voices, screaming out in agony, in pain, in fear, in sadness, even in ecstasy.
Okay,
And
if they didn't like my playing, they could have just told me.
and as you play on this, you hear that in the background, amongst all those screams and the sound and everything, you hear a name repeated. You hear a name, but you don't know the language. You don't know what it is. You cannot recognize what that name is, but you know that it is the name of horror. It is the name of fear. It is the name of insanity. And right as you realize that, you fall to the ground. By the way, Oki, you've just seen him levitate off the floor. He was a good 4 feet off the ground when he fell. But all of you heard this. All of you had this feeling all at the same time.
Did we all fall, or was that just him?
It was just him levitating, but the rest.
Could I try to catch him?
Yeah, definitely. This is a speed roll. 6, because you.
And did I feel it as well, or?
Oh, you felt everything, but you were the only one to float.
What is the cost of effort again?
Effort is
3 point.
3.
All right, I'll spend one
Minus
level of effort.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So down to a 5.
I got a 17.
Yes. All right. Yeah, you just managed to catch him as he's falling. There's kind of a, oof, as he lands on your stomach, and yeah, you're all in a bundle on the floor.
Probably be like you said in the fetal, hands over my ears, and probably singing some little nursery rhyme like "Mary, Mary had a little lamb."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and Mel, what are you doing? You're in the middle of the. You're at the
Yeah,
doctor's
so-
surgery taking notes, and this happens to you.
Oh, I'm in the surgery. I just am probably sitting on the floor, deep breathing and trying to analyze what happened.
Okay. All right.
Is he conscious?
Yeah, he's conscious.
And
You all right, mate?
I heard the name. Is it something that I recognized, like maybe in?
The only
lore?
all of you recognize it as a name, but you do not. You cannot. It's like someone introducing themselves in a foreign language. You realize when they're saying "Hello, I am blank,"
Mhm.
but you don't know what it is, and you couldn't pronounce it back.
Okay.
I look at OK, who's holding me in his arms tenderly,
Okay.
and as I gaze up into his face, I say, "Oi, I need a drink."
Okay.
I'll let him drop.
Oof.
All right, Mel, you are at the.
Told you you shouldn't have touched that thing.
You are at the doctor's.
You mean OK?
And, oh no, I'm shifting over to Mel.
Hmm.
So Mel, you're at the doctor's, and he's been doing his examination, and this is while everything was going on with them. You also see a body being brought in, a crash victim, and the doctor sent his assistant over to deal with that, and he's examining the first body that was brought in, and he says, "This is very strange." And he looks over at the. He's looking at the wrists, and he says, "Come have a look at this."
Okay.
And he says, "Look, this man's been tied by the wrists."
Oh.
And he looks down at the man's boots, and he says, "And look here, the boots." And he scrapes what's on the bottom of the boot, and he sniffs it a bit, and he goes, "Ugh." He looks at you. He says, "He goes, oh, pig shit. Oh, sorry."
Oh.
Give me an if you want to spend inspiration, Mel. I can give you a clue.
Okay, I will. I will say that I have a feeling that he is a farmer.
Yes, that is entirely possible. But his clothing is that of a gentleman.
Oh.
It's quite expensive what he's wearing. In fact, he is wearing a tweed hunting jacket.
Oh.
He looks as though this is a man of some substance. You also you spent the points, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 things. One is that you know that there is some good hunting local nearby. That some local bigwigs were down here a couple of days ago to do some hunting, and you know that they were down by Pendennis Castle. You also know that the only pig farm nearby is also in that direction.
Perfect.
No.
Perfect. Okay. I asked the doctor if he needs any more help from me.
He says, "Oh no, I'm Yeah, I think I've got everything I can. There's no obvious cause of death. I'll know more later when he thaws a bit, but there are no wounds on the body. He doesn't. He's definitely not been in the water very long. And yes, I think yeah, I'm not sure what more I can tell you at the moment.
Okay. I'm supposed to use a cipher in this scene, but I'm not sure exactly what my ciphers do.
Oh, what do you have?
I have a contingent activator and a mind stabilizer.
Contingent activator. If the device is activated in conjunction with another cipher, the user can specify a condition under which the linked cipher will activate. The linked cipher retains the contingent command until it is used. For example, when this cipher is linked to a cipher that provides a form of healing, the user can specify that the linked cipher will activate. Oh, okay. So you basically can attach one of your ciphers to it
Okay.
and say this cipher will activate when blank happens.
Okay. And what is my mind stabilizer?
Let's see. Finding it. Mind. Mind stabilizer. The user gains a +5 armor against intellect damage.
All right. Well, I'm not going to use either of those right now, but I am going to keep those two, and I guess I'll get rid of my nutrition and hydration.
Okay. All right. If you wanted to, you could say that the 5 armor would kick in when a mental attack happens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, are the rest of you joining her at the surgery?
I would assume so.
Okay. Everyone else?
Yeah, I look to Evan's character and say, should we go back to the doctor now
Yeah, may as well.
before we touch anything else?
Ryan,
Or
were you
blow on anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I just give you
I'm
the
sorry,
look
what was
like
that?
I give you a look like we just did something terribly wrong.
Ryan, were you trying to get your talking with the priest?
What in with the priest?
Weren't you waiting to talk to the priest?
I'm kind of confused as to where the heck I am right now because I
Sorry, go ahead.
Last I heard, you were with the. Last I heard, you were with the. You were outside the shop, the butcher shop.
You were lurking.
Yeah, lurking.
I was lurking. Yes.
Basically, killing time till you had to go talk to the priest.
Right, basically. And then screaming horrible voices, and I'm curled in the fetal position outside in the public square.
Yeah, I'd say you two, Evan and Oki, as you walk out of the butcher shop, that's where you find him.
What are you doing laying on the floor like that?
Harry.
Don't you got someplace to be?
Yeah, don't I gotta go to the confession?
Don't we all?
Or a different line of or a different line of work.
Okay. I'm going to say that Mel, you wanted to catch up with them.
Sure.
So at this point, you turn the corner and you see the 3 of them outside of the butcher shop.
I approach and say, "Did you learn anything?" And I see Ryan on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I say to him, "Oh, you heard it too?"
This is the moment when you realize that all 4 of you heard the same thing. I'm going to say we're going to need a, when you're hearing something in your own mind, you can just dismiss it. But when you know that all 4 of you heard exactly the same thing, You're all going to need to make an intellect defense roll, intelligence defense roll,
And I guess
level 5.
Does that mean I automatically get it? It's okay because
You get +5 armor against the attack.
Okay.
I got an 18.
I rolled
Okay.
14.
Let's
All right.
see here. Oh, that's wrong. A level of what? Level 5?
Level 5, yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'll spend a level of effort on this.
Okay.
Take me down to 5 intellect, but it's better than a level 5. Okay, real small.
Yeah, I rolled a
Hopefully
12.
Whew, I got a 13.
Okay. Yeah, you both you Ryan and you Evan, you take 5 intellect damage. As the
Even though we made it?
it was level
Ryan
5.
got a 13 plus.
Yeah, I used
Well,
a
effective.
level of effort. Yeah,
Okay. Sorry, I didn't.
yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, so you Evan, you take 5 damage. How does that manifest?
The rest of the group, and I just like mumble. You know what? We got a bigger problem at stake. There's not alcohol in this world. Keep me.
Okay.
You okay there?
Like the only reason that I'm making it is like even though I'm curled up in the fetal position, I'm like super concentrated on like trying to blot out the
Okay.
I don't think I made it either. I had to beat a 15, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you didn't make it, but your 5 armor soaked up the damage.
Okay, cool. So now I have no ciphers.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't looking too good there. You alright? You're kind of talking some nonsense.
like I pick myself up off the floor and I'm just repeating like the same like child's nursery rhyme over and over and over and over again in my head, and then I kind of go I herk up a little bit and I'm like okay I'm good now. I pick myself up, dust myself off, try to straighten my jacket out a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to make a roll.
What was that, Evan?
A
Recovery roll?
one my and I rolled a, so I get 6.
Okay. Sorry, Evan. You keep dropping out.
All right. Action recovery roll
Okay, perfect.
plus 1 from.
Okay. All right. Mel, if this would be a good time to let everyone know what you discovered at the surgery.
Yeah, so I'm gonna discuss about how he was tied up, how he must have been with the local hunting group near this castle, and how I knew where they were from originally, right? Or not?
Who?
Or him, the group of men that were going hunting.
Oh, it was just a local group of the mayor was there and a few other old men, But the other thing that you discovered was the pig dung on his the bottom of his boots.
Yeah. And then I just mentioned the farm that was close by to where they were hunting.
Okay. Evan and Oki, you two, as she mentions the farm, Evan, you pull out that letter and you realize that that's the farm in the letter.
Oh.
Was the meat in the butcher shop pork?
It was.
I really
So
think we should head down to that castle.
Okay.
Or this farm, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go to the farm.
Sorry, go ahead.
But we found a body.
Oh. And we know who the body is, right?
Yes, it's the butcher.
Okay.
And I'm starting to get the idea maybe we should not be including everyone in on this.
Why?
This is getting awfully weird.
Indeed.
The at this point, you could the butcher shop has a telephone. You could phone the police station and call for someone to collect the body if you wanted to head off.
Out of character, in this time period, would there be the service phones on the street?
There
The
are.
dispatcher,
Yes.
Okay.
I am going to call the police station and just let them know that the mayor may be able to identify the body that's currently at the coroner's office.
Excellent.
And I'll let these guys decide if they want to tell anyone about the body that's in the freezer.
I'll leave it up to everyone else. I'm still pretty shaken up about the intellect damage.
So it's up to either Oki or Ryan what you want to do.
What are we doing?
Whether or not we inform the police station about the body in the freezer. Oki didn't seem to think that he wanted to do that.
Well, it's not that. I'm more concerned about the other things we've encountered today.
Okay.
I mean, it's still a dead body. The authorities
Obviously,
do need to
yes. But maybe we shouldn't give them all the other info.
Okay.
I mean, we need to at least alert them that that's a dead body. I don't know if we
Absolutely.
should tell them about the weird shit that's been going on.
I was on my way to the service phone when I nearly tripped over you.
Okay. How about I'm on the phone telling them to get the mayor to identify the body at the corners, that there's also a body in the freezer of the butchers, and we have some leads we need to follow. So if you could send someone to pick that up.
The desk sergeant at the police station is you can't see him obviously, but knowing him as you do, you know that he is just this is the third body, this is the third violent death, potentially violent death this morning. He's this town is not prepared for this kind of thing. And he lets you know that resources are a bit stretched at the moment. He asks you if the body is urgent. You all kind of look at each other, and then you think about the freezer, and then you let him know that it's not particularly urgent.
And you can just throw him back in the freezer. He'll keep.
He says,
He's already there.
We'll send someone to collect him as soon as we've dealt with everything else that's going on.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you guys choose to do?
I feel like we can either go to this. Do you guys tell me about the Grubbins and Grubbins? Do I know about that?
I was curious if maybe that has something to do with that group of local hunters. Mm-hmm. Is that you said it's a firm?
Grubbins and Smythe, they're a firm of solicitors, but they're not local. They're based in Devon, which is a bit north. The letter is basically to let the butcher know that if he doesn't pay a little bit on his mortgage for that property, it's going to be reclaimed fairly soon.
But did you guys who found that letter, do I know that or not? Do I know about this letter or not?
Yeah, Evan, do you let her know?
Still clutching my head.
Okay, so I don't know.
I fill her in.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
At what point do you think it would be appropriate for me to stop clutching my head?
I say that you're still everything's too much for you, and then you're trying to collect yourself and lock onto something that you know, something you trust, something that you can hold on to. And
I've got-
Mel, while this has all been going on, you've taken the opportunity to make some tea in the butcher's shop, and she hands a cup in your direction, Evan, and all is right with the world.
needs whiskey.
You dash a bit of whiskey in there, and now this tea has revived you.
No, it's English.
Okay.
Excellent.
So maybe we should go and take a look at this castle and this farmhouse.
Okay.
Is anyone else opposed to doing that?
John Smith raises a shaky hand.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to say that, if you guys want to head in that direction, it's going to take you about half an hour or so.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's.
Okay, can we take a short rest on the way there?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Are we going to be taking
I'm gonna-
a car?
No, their cars would be few and far between.
Okay.
You'd probably be walking.
Okay.
What about bicycles?
Yes, there are definitely bicycles.
Let's ride bicycles.
All right.
Bicycle.
Hey,
As you all set out on your bicycles.
5 points. So I heal my. Basically, as I'm taking a break, I'm recouping what little mentality I had left.
Okay. All right. And as you make your way towards the farm, you basically go into a bit of a dell, and then you climb up a hill, and then you see the farm in front of you. And this farm's seen better days, but it's definitely a working farm. You can see the pigs in the field next to it, and there doesn't seem to be anybody moving about there. And the farm is basically on the very edge of the beach. About from the back of the farm, a 2-minute walk will get you to the shoreline.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay. I guess I approach the front door as a police officer would.
Okay.
And knock.
And you knock, and the door opens.
I follow her closely.
Okay.
Before I go in, I just want to sort of peek in and make a perception and see
Okay.
if I see anything.
Yeah. Roll for me. This is
14
I'll
reading.
assist her, or I'll also look.
okay.
Would
Yeah,
you
you-
like that to be an assist, or would that be a roll for me as well?
No, you definitely you're sort of leaning over her shoulder, and you point out anything she missed. You see the inside of a small farmhouse. There's basically the house off to the left, and then to the right is the pig pens, and then beyond that is a shed, a long shed. Inside the house itself, there's nothing particularly remarkable. It doesn't look like anyone's actually lived in there in quite some time.
Oh, okay.
Just very dusty. All the drawers and everything are all open. It looks like someone moved out and didn't bother to close up.
Okay.
But that's all you find in there.
There doesn't seem to be any footprints or anything in the actual dust on the ground, so no one's.
There is one set of footprints, and they walk all over the place.
All over the entire house.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically one big room.
I see. Okay. I guess I'll go in.
Okay.
Look around, see if I see anything of interest or.
Yeah. You look around. You find this is obviously there is some paperwork there that lets you know that this is the butcher's farmhouse. You also see a large stack of bills that would let you know that though, that he's in a bit of trouble financially.
Okay. And that's all I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone
And
else?
what are the rest of you doing?
I'm walking around. I want to look at the pig pen.
Okay. The pigs are.
Are there?
They
You
look
said
happy.
there's a set of. You said there was a set of footprints all over the house.
Yes.
Outside.
Oh yeah. There is outside of the door. It's mostly mud, like mud leading up to the pig pen, mud leading up to the shed and everything, and it's all very well churned. So individual footprints are not really standing out.
Footprints inside the house.
Could
What was that,
we?
Evan?
How big are the footprints inside the house?
They appear to be the same sized footprints as the butcher.
There's a butcher.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was going for.
Okay. Yeah. You also find in Mel, amongst I imagine you take the paperwork outside to have a better look at it in the light.
Mm-hmm.
And amongst the paperwork, you find a handwritten agreement saying that the property will be rented out to and the area where it says that I, like, the butcher, agree to blah blah blah, agree to rent out this property at the sum of blank to the person of blank, and in the spot where the renter would put their information is just a check mark, and then in the section where they should have signed is also a check mark.
And it's just regular black ink?
Yes. You will notice that the sum mentioned would be enough to, on a monthly basis, would be enough to get the butcher out of his financial difficulties. Not quickly, but in a year or two.
Huh. Okay, I take that piece of paper with me.
And the rental date
Mm-hmm.
was effective 6 months ago.
Oh, and there's no one there.
There's no one there.
And how do the pigs look? There are actually pigs there?
Yes, the pigs look well fed. They seem happy. On the paperwork, part of the agreement was that the property would be lent out, but that the running of the farm would continue to be done by the butcher or by his representative.
I see. Okay.
All right. Anyone checking out the shed?
I shall.
Okay. All right. As you walk up to the shed, you hear, and I've always wanted to use this word, a susurrus, a murmuring in the background, a kind of hum, a background hum. It kind of sounds like many voices speaking together. And in your pocket, the whistle that you blew earlier, you can feel it start to vibrate, kind of like a tuning fork. It's vibrating at the same frequency.
I'll fish it out of my pocket, realize that it's also humming, and kind of half throw it, half drop it in the direction that I can hear the background humming coming from.
Okay.
It's coming from all around me, then where I think it's the loudest.
It's coming from the shed. And as you throw it at the door of the shed, this is a metal shed. Yeah. where the where it should have pinged off the metal, there's nothing. It goes through the door.
I go up to the door and try opening it.
Your hand goes through the handle.
I walk through the door.
You have. Does anyone else see this, by the way?
I hope so.
Okay, you all have just seen him walk through a solid wall, or what appeared to have been a solid wall. Evan, you get that feeling, that horrible feeling that when you miss the last step going down the stairs, and you drop a couple of steps down onto a stone staircase leading down in a kind of spiral. And a couple of steps down, you see the whistle.
I'll walk forward those couple of steps, pick up the whistle, and go back up. Put my hand through the side of the shed and wave everyone closer.
You reach to open to put your hand through, and you encounter a solid wall from your side.
Oh shit.
Okay, well, no place out but forward.
What did the rest of you do?
I'm gonna go towards where he walked through.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna poke my head through, not my entire body.
Okay. You see Evan standing there.
Said, what just happened to him?
And you see Mel's head materialize.
Now, is it just floating, or does it appear mounted?
It appears it's floating. She as she moves around, her head naturally moves with it, with her body.
But it appears that the head is poking through the wall.
Yes.
That I feel is solid.
Yes.
I'll let her know that, hey, the wall is solid. Don't come all the way through.
I'm gonna try and grab his hand and pull it out with me.
You can pull your fingers through, but right when his hand reaches where the wall would be, your fingers slip off, and he, is pulled up against the wall.
Oh man, I really don't want to go down there. All right. I'm gonna tell the rest of the group what I saw.
And I'll slowly walk down the stairs.
Okay.
Nothing else for me to do. So.
All right.
That's true.
All right. What did the rest of you do?
Well, I tell them what's going on and see what they want to do. Ooh, we just lost Oki.
So is he stuck in there now?
He
Seems
is.
like it, yeah.
Did Oki just leave?
I think so.
I think he dropped out. Let me message him.
I'm just gonna say to.
How the heck?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out how the heck we're supposed to get him out of there now.
I think we just have to go in and find another exit, find the way out.
Is there any way out that he can see though?
No, it's just a stairwell down.
It's a.
Well, that's what I mean. If there's another, it's not just like an empty room.
Right, Ryan.
There's another way out.
We'll say that Oki's character tags along with you guys until he can get back.
Okay.
Sure. So, Ryan, it's a spiraled staircase, so I really can't see more than, probably 8 feet in front of me or downward.
Okay. He says he'll reconnect in a second.
Yeah, unless I just keep following it down. So.
I'm gonna go through.
Okay. And the same thing. You cannot get back.
That's okay. I just followed him.
Okay. All right.
As an aside, are you just waiting for all of us to get through, or?
Well, I'm just trying to find out what what the others plan to do, and then I'll move back to you or anyone who's in the passage.
Okay.
Right.
And can I find some rope around this farm somewhere?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's rope at hand.
Okay. Like on the other side of the wall,
Mhm.
one that I'm the one where I can poke my
You want to tie an
and
anchor?
find like some place to tie the rope to. That
Mhm.
I find an anchor, and then I'm going to tie the rope around myself,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to like go through the wall,
Okay.
and then I'm going to try like is the rope still taut? Is it like I'm trying to figure out the interaction here?
Yeah, as you make your way through the wall, the rope will move naturally. If you try and push your hand through the wall, it won't go through.
But
you can still move the rope as though there is no wall. So it's basically, in short, inanimate objects can pass through with no trouble, but organic living beings, only one way.
Right. In mechanical terms, that's what's happening. My character doesn't understand that, but
No.
I'm just looking at it, going, I don't under how possible like moving the rope to my hand and like trying to pull myself. I give up.
Okay. Okay. Did you were you here when Evan went down the through the wall, basically?
No, I was having some weird. I don't know. I couldn't really get a
That's right.
Wi-Fi connection or something, I guess.
Okay. Evan's character walked through a solid wall into the shed and found a spiral stone staircase leading downwards, but could not get back through, and the others have followed him.
Excellent.
And you should be able to see a moving rope going into the shed.
Yes.
So am I with everybody?
Yeah, and if you choose to be, yes.
Sure.
Okay. So as Ryan's character has made his way through, and you see the rope moving around like it's got a fish on the end of it, you make your way through and onto the staircase. You are now all on the staircase. Evan, you've pulled ahead quite a bit from the rest of them because you just kept walking. And Mel, did you wait for the others or no?
No.
Okay.
As soon as I figured out he was trapped in there, I just went ahead.
All right. So Evan and Mel, you've moved forward, and as you walk further and further down the spiral staircase, you hear chanting in the background. That hum that you heard earlier, it's much louder now. Sounds like many voices. It's not a very long way down the stairs, probably about 60 steps or so. And as you walk onto the bottom of the steps, you're into a cavern that is flooded with torchlight. And you see about 30 or so hooded figures all standing around what looks to be an altar. And on the center of the altar is this is a person wrapped up with their with a hood over their head, and around on the altar itself is a sort of is a circle, a hollow, basically a ring of metal that is connected to the base of the altar, and this person is basically on a platform, a circular platform with a walkway leading towards this this circle of metal. And you see people standing around there, and there's a few of them are brandishing knives, and they're all chanting. And again, you know the name that they're chanting, but you can't catch it. Not quite.
But
But
it's
it's the
in
same name. What was that, Evan?
Did it sound like the name that we heard in that horrible?
It is the same name.
Okay, I want to cast. Do they see me?
They are all standing and looking towards the victim on the altar. So
there's
at
a
the
heap.
moment, they do not see you, but after your next action, they would.
Okay, I want to cast Understanding and just try and figure out what's going on.
Okay.
So
How does that work mechanically?
you observe or study a creature or object. The next
Mhm.
time you interact with it, the difficulty of the related task is reduced by 1 step. Action required to use. So if I'm doing it before they saw me, would that mean that the next time I interacted with them would be the next round? Maybe?
Yes, I'll say yes.
Okay, so I'm going to cast that just so I can sort of figure out what they are doing and who they are and all
Okay.
that stuff.
It looks very much like a sacrifice is about to take place. And it looks like they. You see a group of about 3 or 4, all standing by a lectern, and they have this black book on the lectern, and they seem to be reading from it. And they're kind of alternating. One will read, then the next will read, then the next will read. It's definitely not English that they're reading, and in fact, it's no language that you're familiar with.
Okay.
And while you're looking in, I'm going to say that next to your ear, you hear the click of a pistol being cocked back, and
Behind me? Or
right next to your ear, basically. I presume you guys are at the entrance or the exit of the tunnel, basically.
yeah, I'm trying to stay somewhat in the shadows, but where I can still see them. But
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, let's say for 2 XP, do you
Yeah.
lean forward enough to get a good look?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give the other point to Evan because he's trapped down here with me.
Okay. And as
Is
you
there?
Mhm.
Do they all seem to be like in unison, or is there maybe one that's sort of leading them,
The 4 that are by
like
the
leading
book,
the chant? Or
yeah, the 4 that are by the book, every time one of them speaks, the rest of them join in the chant with him. But it kind of rises and falls as each person speaks. There'll be a low one, then a high one, then low, then high. Kind of like a rising wave, basically, of noise.
am I
Okay.
able to cast guilt on a group, or is it only? Does it have to be one action per individual?
It's usually 1 action per individual, but you can modify modify an ability on the fly if you want to. What does guilt do?
If it comes to combat, my attacks against them would be 1 step lower.
Okay. How would you
It's just
do?
a personal designation. I
Oh, that you.
perceive them as
Oh, okay.
guilty.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can
So
definitely
for
count the group as guilty.
so for guilt,
Okay.
it's actually I think it's the tier 5 ability where you can expand it to more than one person.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd say.
okay.
I'd say you'd have to do it per individual, or you'd have to spend quite a bit of. Is it intelligence or?
It's a free thing, so
Okay. I wonder what skill it's based on or not.
It isn't based on anything.
Okay, it isn't. Okay, I would say that you'd have to spend a lot of mental power to expand it to the whole group.
not worth the hassle.
Okay. All right, but yeah, and Mel, you hear right next to you the cocking of a pistol, and as you turn to look, you see that one of the robed figures has got a pistol leveled at your head.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Enthrall.
Mm-hmm.
It says, while talking, you grab and keep another creature's attention, even if the creature can't understand you, for as long as you do nothing but speak. So I can't move. The other creature takes no actions.
Okay, that just happens, or
Yeah.
Yeah, in Enthralled's basically Mel can't.
okay.
So, I don't think it matters what I say, so I'm gonna just, and it doesn't say a volume, so I'm hoping that I can whisper, and that I can, while I'm talking, tell Evan that this guy's got a gun to my head and to disarm him.
Okay. All right.
And
So
it says, creature takes no actions other than to defend itself, even over multiple rounds.
Okay. So he's the figure, and it looks from the stance and everything, it looks like it's probably a man. He's got his pistol at you, but he's a bit. He looks unfamiliar with it, unfamiliar with pistols. So he looks as though he's got that horrible moment when you think, did I take the safety off? Did I not take the safety off? Will I look stupid if I try and fumble it for it now? No, better to just keep the pistol pointing at her, even if the safety's on. At least it looks intimidating. This is all passing through his mind at the moment.
Perfect.
So he's a bit paralyzed, but only for a bit.
Okay.
As that, am I able to act in any function or manner?
Yeah, you two have basically just arrived at the bottom of the stairs. I'm going to need you both to make stealth rolls, you and Oki, to not make enough noise to alert the cultists.
Well, I rolled a 4.
Okay.
D20. Hold on. Let me get my D20 out. Oh, there it is. I didn't do much better. I rolled a 7.
Okay. Yep. The GM intrusions now on 1 through 5. Oki, you're coming down the steps and you get jostled by Ryan, and some coins fall out of your pocket, and the unmistakable sound of falling money causes every eye in the cavern to turn in your direction. And the
hell are you looking at?
The chant is interrupted for a second, long enough for the 4 men at the standing by the book to point fingers in your direction. And about 10 or so of the cultists break away and rush in your direction.
Oh, shit.
Initiative?
Yes, initiative.
Woo woo!
All right, initiative.
Oh, are we still doing, who goes first, sort of thing?
Yes, I would say, for this game, let's just carry on with that.
Who goes first? Roll off the initiative roll and then pick.
How does being trained in initiative play out?
It increases your roll by 3.
What's that?
So it increases your roll by 3. So if you roll a 14, your initiative is 17.
Okay, so it's sort of like the opposite of everything else. Gotcha.
Everyone roll me initiative, and then we'll just do you guys go, bad guys go, depending on how the initiative goes. It's basically just the rules of the game.
I got a 14 plus 3, resulting in a 17.
Okay.
I got a 22.
Okay.
I rolled 9.
All right.
13.
Okay. So yeah, you guys definitely go first. All right. As far as who goes first, you can choose that. I'm going to let you know that this is a mob of screaming cultists. And let me just find my pen. And I'm penless. Okay.
James?
Yes?
If you'd like, you can use my GM tool kit that I gave you.
Oh, okay. All right.
It will keep their health and initiative, etc., etc.
Definitely. I will definitely bring that next time. Let's just carry on as we are. All right. So this is a two mobs of bad guys, and they're going to be let's see. Remind me, mob rules is they count as a creature double their 2. Yeah, they count as level 3 creatures, and they're going to be dealing a bit of damage in your direction. They've all got knives. They all look like ritual knives, and they've drawn them, and they're heading in your direction.
I'm still just talking, so this guy can't move or do anything.
Okay.
So.
I'm not a talker.
Okay, you seem like a guy that might want to take the pistol.
Me?
Someone's got to take the gun. Like I can't.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. You're trying to steal the gun from him?
That is right.
All right.
Technically not an attack, so the guy is still frozen in
Yeah.
place.
Oh, yeah, you can just take it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's
It
still...
says he can defend himself. He can't take actions, but he can defend himself.
Okay. Then, yeah, he can try and hold on to the gun, but this is... he's a level 1, so...
Oh.
If you have anything vaguely...
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Then, yeah, you in a kind of Jackie Chan style, you pull the gun out of his hand, flip it back at him, and aim it, perfectly aim it in his direction, and thumb the safety off.
Beautiful.
And he kind of throws up his hands and looks a bit scared. You can see that he's actually quite young.
I stop talking and just push him behind us.
Mm-hmm. While this is happening, Evan, what happened to the flute?
The flute, I picked it up, and is... How large is it?
It's like 7 inches long.
I'm likely still holding it in a fist.
Okay. I'm going to say, Evan, that you have a profound and almost all-consuming desire to blow the whistle.
Intellect defense to not blow it?
No, this is an intrusion. So if you choose not to, you can pay.
Otherwise, I get 2 experience.
Otherwise, you get 2 experience.
I'll pay 1 to not blow it.
Okay. As you fight the urge to blow it, you can feel that the whistle is actually trying to pull itself out of your hand. Like, as you tighten on it, it's like a fish that you've caught, and it's trying to wriggle free. One of the cultists looks at you and he says, as he's rushing towards you, he says, "The whistle!" He goes, "Get it!" They're now converging on your location. All right. So as far as combat goes, you guys have basically got 1 round to do something before the cultists are on you.
Is there?
So,
Well, do I have a clear line of sight?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Then I'm just gonna whip my pistol out and
Wait,
fire.
Let me go first because I can.
All right.
I'll cast encouragement for attack tasks, and
Okay.
that makes their attack tasks 1 step easier.
do it for damage. They're only task 3.
Okay, I'll do it for damage.
Okay. All right. How much damage?
It adds 3.
No, actually, I don't think you can add it to damage. It just says.
For effort, you can.
No, I mean with my encouragement. I'm casting encouragement, and
Okay.
I don't think you can. It says, yeah, just defense
I
tasks.
think, yeah, it's only-
tasks or tasks related to any skill that you are trained in or specialized in. So I'll just.
Say something encouraging to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it, guys.
Okay.
Death to the heretic cultists.
Uh-huh. For the king.
I can't die down here, so. don't
Clean
let
for
me
the
die.
emperor. That bit.
For the emperor.
I mean, queen and country for queen and country.
King and country at this time.
oh, king and country. Okay, that's right.
And you could actually say the emperor since he was the emperor of India.
All right.
So-
Come
So knock yourself out, Ryan, and say for the Emperor.
Okay. So I shout, "Blood for the blood god, skulls,"
Gods with skull, sir.
and and
Now you're speaking
what,
their language. So, hey, hey, you're one of us.
So what I do is I take my pistol out,
Mhm.
brandish it expertly at the mob, and I start unloading rounds at them. So I'm going to shoot one of the 6 rounds, and I'm going to spend for damage,
Okay.
and I get a 15.
All right. How much damage is that?
That is going to be 5 points.
Oh wow. All right. Yeah, you basically knock 3 of them down,
Yes.
and just
There we go.
the front runners, you've knocked them, you've shot them down.
Okay. How do you want
What was that?
for the pistol? It's a 6-round mag. Do you just want to just have me reload every once in a while, or just
Yeah, every other round,
every other round? Okay. Is that going to be an action to reload then?
or as you, it's going to be an action. Yeah. All right. Who's next?
Do I pick, or does someone just want to volunteer?
Oh, someone can volunteer.
I guess I'll go. You
Okay.
said the guy holding the gun was only a task 1?
Yes, definitely. If you wanted
I've
to
already
take him out.
I've pushed him behind us because he looked like a little kid, and I didn't think we should kill him.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to punch him.
Okay.
Trying.
Well, that poor.
So
All right.
trying to knock him out, I'm dealing 5 damage.
Oh yeah, you definitely knock him out.
Wonderful.
He's not getting up. And as you do that, and you punch him in the face, and there's blood on your knuckles. You punched him with the hand that still is holding the flute, and the blood, a bit of the blood hits the flute, and the flute kind of it's really writhing in your grip now. And again, you feel this powerful urge to blow this whistle, this flute. Do you resist?
Fusion. So as an aside, my sound dampener,
Mm-hmm.
it says it dampens all sound within an immediate range.
Yes.
How damp is the sound?
I'd say you would still hear it in the background, but it's kind of like, in films where someone drops a grenade and then there's that ringing noise and then you hear everything very, very muffled. It'd be like that.
Okay. So it wouldn't do anything. No, I'm down to my experience, so I'm going to blow it.
You're going to blow it?
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
All right.
So is that 1 XP for me, 1 XP for someone?
Yeah, exactly.
Brian gets the other 2 points.
Okay. All right. You as you blow on it, you hear again that same noise, that same feeling of weightlessness. But unlike before, where the weightlessness was just going up, you are now being pulled very fast towards that circle on the altar. You're actually flying through the air in that direction. And as you're flying through the air, the chanting reaches a crescendo, and that the circle, a blue light appears in the middle of that circle, kind of like a Tesla coil, and it flares of electricity bounce off inside the circle, and it slowly opens up into a blue sphere. What out of character you would is a portal, and you're heading that direction very fast.
Can I shoot the pipe? I want to shoot the flute.
You want to shoot the flute out of his hand while he's flying through the air?
It's gonna be
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Can I put an asset by twisting in the air?
Yeah, you're definitely moving around. I wouldn't know whether that would help him unless you say shoot the flute.
Dodge in my direction.
Well, no, my question is I'm assuming that I'm flying in one single direction
Yes, you are.
with Loop. If I can kind of turn my body so he isn't shooting the flute through the back of my neck.
Yes. You're kind of, when you lie flat on your back in a pool and float, that's what's happening to you right now.
How fast is he moving?
He probably about 10 miles an hour.
Okay, so pretty fast.
Yeah. This is going to be one shot kind of thing.
So,
Right.
remember the experience I gave you?
Uh-huh.
Here's where you use it if you fail.
This, I'm going to let you know, this is a level 9 roll. You are shooting a flute on a flying target in a dark cavern. Yeah. Nothing is helpful in this situation for you.
So
It's not impossible.
encourage
I think
makes
I
me
will record this roll for you guys.
Okay.
Just to be
Well,
fair.
he is encouraged so that drops it down to an 8. Then
No, it wasn't 8
he's using a light weapon. He's using a light weapon, so that drops it. If he uses effort, then that drops it down to a 6.
So just within the bounds of possibility.
I am definitely using effort. I mean, this is an effort moment, of course.
Excellent. And I'll let you
I only wish I hadn't used that one experience point I was given earlier in the game for a clue. So.
All right. Okay.
Waiting
And
for my camera to catch up.
all right. Let's see.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just barely.
Alright. I can't see it because my phone's in the way. So if anyone can read that.
No, I can't. It's all blurred.
Looks like a 20.
It looks like an
Very
8.
pixelated.
Damn it.
Ooh.
That's about 10 short of what you actually needed.
So the bullet flies.
I sure gave it my best shot.
Yeah, the bullet flies past you. You feel it whoosh past your ear, Evan, and you hear a ping as it bounces off the rim of the circle. And while you're flying towards it, you can see that the cultists, the victim that was on the altar, they've thrown him through the portal in front of you.
Oh, hell no.
And you fly through the portal.
I do.
Yes. What do the rest of you do?
Fuck.
Exactly.
I will let you guys know that we're. This is wrapping up time.
Oh. Are we gonna do a second session of this, or this is the end of the story?
This is the one shot.
Oh my god. Fuck it. I'm gonna jump in to the portal.
You're gonna try and save him?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump
Okay.
in.
All right. I'm gonna say I'm gonna let you do that.
Okay.
One second,
um,
she's going to run through a group of champion cultists.
She is going to bob and weave. This is going to take a roll. Are you
Okay.
guys? In fact, I will say that if you want to, kind of all of you muscle your way through the cultists, then you can.
Well, yeah, because we've still got charging cultists.
Yeah, they're charging cultists, but if you guys were to countercharge, then I'm going to say that the surprise is going to give you an asset. You're still going to have to fight your way through them, but the surprise is on your side.
Okay.
All right. Do you guys want to do that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I've still got round.
Okay.
Probably.
You can
empty
actually,
my pistol and.
if you want, you could help her by shooting a few of the people in front of her.
Do you want me to roll for that, or do you just
No,
want to consider that?
We'll say that would be an asset in her favor. Two assets you've got going for you right now, Mel, are surprise and the fact that some of the cultists in front of you are being shot down.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely do that. You know, I'm unloading my pistol.
And Oki?
Yes, sir.
Now
I will be running with him.
Okay. All right. So you're so Ryan, you're standing at the bottom of the stairs, firing your pistol and shooting down cultists, and then you and Mel and Oki, you're bursting your way through the crowd. I'm going to say if you don't want to be grabbed and stopped, this is a level 6 modified 2 down by the 2 assets you've got going for you. So 4.
Is it possible that I could cast something on myself while I'm running, or is that going to be too much?
I'd say that would be too much.
Okay, here we go.
You...
Oh my god! I rolled a 20.
Oh, nice. What was that, Evan?
So one small thing is you can perform a speed task.
I can't believe I just rolled that.
Speed task. It's either a 2 or a 4 difficulty. To move a short distance and perform an action.
That's a power. That's a power, not a actual action, though. That's called fleet of foot.
It doesn't matter because I just rolled a natural 20. So.
Oh, very nice.
Woo woo.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to make your way through the crowd. The cultists are mown down by a withering hail of fire before you, and you run forward onto the altar, onto the gangplank, and throw yourself through the portal. Okay, do you follow?
Could I actually try to fight against the cultists to make a better path for everyone else?
Oh yeah, you can stay in.
So that's what I'll do.
Do you have any weapons? Or just your fist?
I am a fisticuffs kind of man, but I do still have a gun in my hand.
All right.
So I'm swinging.
In this final scene, this moment of confrontation, as the cultists are fighting back, Ryan, you're standing there and you're firing at the cultists, and a small a boy, one of the cultists, wakes up behind you and he sees you there, and he reaches under his cloak and pulls out a knife. And the last thing we see of you, Ryan, is him walking up towards you, sneaking up behind you, knife raised. Oki, I'm going to say that you're standing there in the midst of bodies of cultists left, right, and center. And my
mutton chops looking glorious.
Mm-hmm. And there's a circle of them around you with their knives raised, and they're moving in close. It looks like they're not taking any chances, and they're all going to attack at once. And what is the last heroic thing that you say?
You're all guilty!
Excellent. And Mel and Evan, as you fly through the portal, the first thing that you feel is extreme cold. The second thing you feel is the pressure of air in your lungs as it tries to leave your body. And the fact that you can't breathe. And the fact that you're floating. And as you open your eyes, as you both enter go through the portal, you see blackness and lights all around you as you float around. And you realize that you are floating in space. That you are flying around in no gravity. And Evan, you bump into something. And you can't breathe, you're panicking, and at that moment you bump into something, and you turn around and you see a body floating around you. This body is dressed in the armor of a Roman legionary. And Mel, next to you is another body, dressed as a Celt. Then all around you, you see bodies. Bodies of men in modern clothing, bodies of women in modern clothing. Clothing going back thousands of years. There are bodies floating all around you in space. And in your last moments, as your breath is escaping your body and you feel yourself dying, you look up above you and you see thousands of bodies floating around you, surrounding an eye, floating in space with tentacles all around it, churning around it in a spinning pattern. And you realize the name that you'd heard before, but for the first time you recognize it. It is Azathoth, the horror in space. The great outer being, the one that even Dread Cthulhu fears. And in that final moment, you realize the insanity is all around you. More than anything else, that creature up there is totally insane. And there's the end.
Wait, I want to do something before I die. I want to take my flashlight and shine it in his eye and give him the finger before I die.
Sounds good. Evan, what do you do? Any last movement for you, Evan?
Yes, I'm going to spend 3 intellect.
Mm-hmm.
Not to not to gain information from you, but just to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why do you always end your games with sending me flying through the portal?
If you present me with these opportunities, and who am I to say no? Who knows? It may be different next game. You'll be coming out of a portal the next game.
I like that so much.
All right.
That was really fun.
Excellent.